Oh my god, we're in.
Testing.
I declare thumb war.
I declare the thumb war.
I love when the digits fight.
Period.
I declare the index war.
That was disgusting. The index war? It's big awoo energy. For the audio listener, we're just tapping our fingers together. Like... Welcome back to PawsCast. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Doon the Fox, and just remember, every version of candy corn has a sweet tooth for handy porn. I'm here with a couple of people who like candy. Hi, Ark.
Hi. I'm Ark. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi, Jelly.
I am Jelly. I'm curious about Doon's handy porn for candy corn.
I would love to explain that more sometime.
Yes, please.
Do you have candy corn porn?
Porn of
Is
the
this-
candy corn that I
Will
keep
this
handy.
be a future
In your hand.
episode?
Will we be talking about it today? That remains to be
Hopefully
seen.
not.
But
Please no.
What we are going to talk about
I'm
today.
already checking out of this episode.
Oh, you're not going to stay over? We're such nerds. Today we're talking about hotels. Because a hoe don't tell, baby. No, thank you. Damn. That's why you make money. Well, anyway.
We're going to let that one float.
We're just going to let that one slide away. So, who here has worked in hotels before? I have worked in hotels before.
I have worked in hotels.
Ark?
I have slept in hotels before.
Technically the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Basically the same thing.
The employees do it all the time.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's true, actually.
Living in the cold states, if it starts to snow a lot, and I'm like,
Not
I
going home.
am getting off the clock at 11 at night, and I'm scheduled at 7 in the morning, and I'm going to sleep here.
Yep. Exactly.
I too go to sleep at 11 and wake up at 7
Oh my gosh.
p.m.
That's a journey.
That is.
Right.
What a trip, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you've worked at hotels before, what positions have you worked?
Yeah, so starting as this front desk receptionist, I dabbled in night audit for longer than I ever desired to.
Yeah.
Front desk supervisor, housekeeping supervisor towards the end. I kind of
Wow.
been everywhere except for more managed. I mean, not like too much housekeeping. A little bit, just more like room checks and stuff
Right.
like that.
But certainly not like sales manager,
No.
AGM or anything.
No.
That makes sense. So I also started at front desk on day shift, eventually picked up evenings, and then eventually picked up night audit. Later, at a different hotel, I did night audit for an entire year. I was the primary night auditor,
I've been there.
wrote the book on the job.
It's rough.
Yeah.
You write your own packet.
You do. Yeah, you do. I did breakfast once, which was boring.
I've done it when housekeepers don't show up.
Basically
like
that.
the person.
But I've also had to flip rooms myself because, you run out of inventory
You do.
and you're...
And then it's like, I booked on Expedia 2 minutes ago. What do you mean my room isn't ready? And
I'm
it's
like, great.
12 at night.
Go find a restaurant, do dinner for 2 hours, and it'll be ready to come back,
Yeah, flipping a room sounds really hard. The beds must be heavy.
Yeah. It's more like the floor is heavy
Yep.
because they flip the entire room.
Yeah.
No, but it's very much like you have to do housekeeping without the training kind of a thing, which bites.
The training is the job.
I know.
You learn by doing.
Yeah.
You don't learn by learning.
Fair enough.
Feel good about that?
So good.
Great. Okay, so we have some experience. Do you have... I almost don't want to ask this question, but just in terms of like either staying somewhere or working somewhere, do you have like a favorite brand of hotel or a favorite, even a type of room or anything like that? For me, I started in Marriott's, so I know Marriott's pretty well, and I actually enjoy them for the most part. Not the price point, but
No.
I do like the quality. Other than that, I'm usually fairly happy with like a Quality Inn and Suites or even like a Holiday Inn. It's that sort of thing.
Sure.
Holiday Inns for me has sort of been like where my family always goes to stay because they have pools.
Yes. And I think hot tubs too sometimes.
Usually a pool and a hot tub. Typically we'd find the one that had a pool and a hot tub because when you're on like a 30-hour drive across the country and you're driving nonstop the entire way and sleeping in the car, and then it's like, oh, we get to finally stay in a hotel. Let's get the one with a hot tub, because then we can relax.
Yes.
I find when I travel, I usually try and stay at a Hilton.
Totally.
I mean, I don't have the bougie life to where like I'm a silver member and I'm not ever like getting points for stays. But the last hotel I ever worked at was a Hilton, and I was really happy with the plans that they had in place and the procedures that they do. And Hilton's good.
Hilton's good.
I do like Hilton.
Yeah.
Marriott's okay as well, but again, they're a little bit pricier.
That's good. I find they're pricier, and having worked in them, you know, like, so I sort of know what the issues are going to be. Like, I know what to expect if I stay in a Marriott, which I guess is helpful. But overall, the suites in the Marriotts are very comfortable. The little kitchenettes and the separate living room and stuff like that is like really, really great.
If I'm going for a longer stay,
Marriott is actually, okay, so I don't know how much I actually want to say about this, but basically their extended stay brand is Residence Inn, and that is like, if you want to be cushy, that's where you stay.
Yep.
Even for a night, it's too much for a night, obviously, but like it's still pretty fun.
Yeah.
Cool. When you go to stay at a hotel somewhere, what's like the one thing you have to have?
A bed.
Okay. Great. You know, you're right. What the fuck was I thinking?
I do usually look for a hotel that has hotel breakfast because I'll smash a hotel waffle.
Totally, though. That's such
Hotel
a weird,
waffles
like,
go so hard.
Yeah, they do.
And they're all the same. They're all identical.
There is a standard.
You know what
There's a standard.
You know what the standard is, though?
But it's good.
Yummy.
Vanilla. Truly, like that's the flavor that always jumps out at me.
Vanilla, and also like an inch and a half thick.
Yeah, and hella butter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, hella butter, hella
One-
syrup.
Totes.
One butter in every single
Is
little
there, yeah, I
divot.
know. That's how I know I have some kind of like mental issue. It's like I'm putting butter in every square in the waffle.
But it's one. It's like you have the little like. You have little plastic butter things. You put one full butter stick in each divot.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, that might be too much.
So after that, I'm running 50 miles straight,
yeah,
burning off the fat.
just gonna clog my veins with butter.
But that's the move.
That is the move. You're so right. I think the thing that I look for is either a hot tub by the pool, or if there's going to be like a date night situation, then it's a hot tub in the room.
Ooh.
There aren't a lot of those. I mean,
They're hard
I've
to
seen
find.
like
That
some
sounds expensive.
specialty places
Definitely.
here in the area, but they're more like an Airbnb type situation where they have the hot tubs.
I've never actually stayed at an Airbnb.
Really?
Not.
Yeah, I exclusively do hotels.
We did that most recently here
Yes.
when we did MCFC. We stayed at an Airbnb.
Okay.
Yeah, it was sort of like an apartment complex.
Yes.
Where you just sort of rent out an apartment.
All
for-
the apartments in that complex were Airbnbs.
Wow. That's cool.
And it
But
was in the
we-
same building as a
Yeah,
7-Eleven.
we had a full kitchen.
That's awesome.
Which was amazing. We had friends over and we cooked dinners.
Hell
and,
yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
One thing that has always annoyed the shit out of me about, especially at cons, is parking.
When we went to MCFC the most recent time, because we were at an Airbnb, we're a little bit subtracted from the normal parking situation because we weren't over there at Maine.
Right.
Being in Detroit, there was a parking lot right next to the Airbnb, which is really cool. I just pulled in, and then within 20 seconds, we were
no.
immediately accosted by
Not
the
within
parking
20
person.
seconds. The second we got out of the doors, he was behind our car like, where's our money?
He was
We
booking it
decide-
over.
He was there.
Yeah.
What?
He
Immediately.
spawned behind our car.
I think
Yeah.
this gentleman's entire job is to sit in a little box in the parking lot and yell at people and be like, "Give me money."
And the box is made of mirrors, so
I
you can't see him.
100% thought that he was like a homeless person asking us for money because he was like a little bit disheveled.
or like trying to rob you in general.
yes,
You know what I mean?
he was like, "Give me
He does
$20."
work in a 4-foot box.
Yeah, it's really tough.
That is his house.
Yeah, he lives there. That is psychotic
He's
behavior.
king of the lot.
But
Yeah.
he also only accepted cash.
Yeah,
And,
we need to find an ATM because I'm an adult that never has cash.
And also the price of the parking lot changed every single night. It was $30 the night we parked, and then by the time we left, it was $10 per night.
Maybe
my
it was
God.
weekend parking was more. I'm not
It
sure.
was an event parking, and he definitely upcharged us a
He
ton.
knew the con was happening.
Oh yeah.
Had to.
Yeah.
So when it comes to staying in like one of the hotels, or especially Maine for virtually any convention, usually there's a fee for parking. The bigger ones, when there's a parking garage though, I'm like, okay, you're gonna charge me $30, $40, $50 a day, whatever, for parking, but then I can't go anywhere.
Yeah, it's weird that they sort
I
of
don't
like
have
keep your
in-out
car
privileges,
hostage.
like-
Oh.
And then, but if you do want in and out privileges, you pay more,
Oh yeah,
and then maybe you'll get your spot back. You know,
maybe
I
you
worked
won't.
at the hotel I worked at most recently, we had valet services. It was
Yes.
$35 for overnight, but you do get in and out. We'll pull it for you as many times as you want.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't hate valet.
No.
They make good money.
I did hate the times when I would need to be valet because sometimes they don't show up and then I need to go run to the lot and grab cars, which sucked, especially in the wintertime.
Yeah. I would hate to be valet because I could not imagine driving other people's cars and like being at risk
And
for
then,
like they claim like there's
We did have one
damage or
car
whatever.
get stolen
oh god.
out of MSU campus in the
Jesus.
parking lot. Someone's Jeep got stolen and the parking manager needed to be like, hey, you know that car you brought us yesterday? Here's the police report. It's gone.
Oh my god.
Oh, that was a nightmare.
That is a nightmare. Okay. Favorite convention hotels?
I haven't been to a lot of conventions where I've stayed at Maine. It's always been some satellite building like MFF where I stay elsewhere, and there's like a Skybridge element or
yeah.
MCFC. I stayed in Maine at old MCFC, but that's dead now.
Yeah, they died.
She's dead.
Deceased.
So I don't know, I guess.
That's fair.
For me, probably one of my favorites would be FWA's.
100%.
I believe it's a Hilton.
Well, they have a Hilton, a Hyatt, and then
They're all like
the main is a
part of
Marriott.
each other.
Yeah.
So the Marriott, I believe, is the one that looks like a skeleton cage on the inside, which
Basically.
is fantastic. Super cool. Horrible for getting people in and out. It is a death trap in there, but it is so cool and also very tall. Yeah, we were in, I think, the Hilton, which was next door to it.
Yeah.
Which happened to have like the Moonlight Market and everything.
Yes.
So getting to that was actually super easy. We didn't have to go through the sky bridge to get there.
Yeah.
Just dropped in. We're like, hi, how's
We're
it
here now."
going?
Yeah, I think FWA actually is my favorite layout and hotels in general. So the way that I usually describe it to people is if you picture like an upside down L, that's more or less the format. So you have the short leg, at the exterior of it is where the food court is, and then where the short leg and the long leg meet, so the corner of the L, that is the Hyatt. If you go down to the middle of the long leg, that's the Marriott, and then at the top or the whatever the bottom of the long leg, that is the Hilton. So the Hilton, every year I've been there, has the worst elevator con situation ever.
It's awful.
It's the same thing for the Marriott. The Hyatt actually, in my opinion, has the best elevator situation, and it is squarely between the big food court and the main hotel. So the location is ideal. Also, I know I described this as an L, but there's another skybridge that directly connects the Marriott to the food court. So it's really like a P kind of. But you know what I mean? So like it to me, that entire convention center situation is probably the best layout in my opinion. I think MFF's layout is garbage.
Yeah.
I'm just not a fan of how it's laid
Every
out at
time I
all.
need to go anywhere, it takes like 15 minutes.
Yeah. And it's not just like the hotels, because the Hilton, for MFF, that Hilton is actually pretty difficult to navigate. The floors look crazy. I don't know. I just don't know how to explain it. And then the Skybridge situation is just so awful. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Not
And
my
also
favorite.
about 1,000 degrees.
that thing.
You roasted
What
that.
you said.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, if you want to feel like a hamster, go to MFF and live in the Skybridge.
Or like any game where you're Sonic the Hedgehog rolling through the tubes.
Yeah, except you don't get to roll through the tubes because people are walking slowly in there and
Yeah, so you get
stuck in
like,
the tube for 15 minutes.
It's like you have a lot of lag and you're going through the tube, but you keep being rubber banded back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Over and over and over.
And you walk for 20 minutes and you move 10 feet.
Yeah. And then you're done suiting.
And then you're done suiting.
And you're dead.
By the time you get to Maine,
warm.
you're done suiting. And then you're done.
And you're wet.
Yeah, you become hydration incarnate.
That was a random fox noise. Hee. That means it's time to let you know we are on Patreon. If you like this podcast and want to see more, we have multiple subscription options available. You could even get early access to episodes and access to an exclusive group chat. Whoa! Go to patreon.com/pawsplay to learn more and subscribe today. Thank you so much for supporting furry content online. You're amazing! Back to the show.
What I want to talk about now are hotel horror stories. Horror.
Period.
Yassified dog of wisdom. Bitch. That is unhinged as fuck. Okay. Hotel horror stories.
How much horror do you want?
Whatever you want to
Oh,
share.
dish it. If you got it, give it.
Dish that thesis. Write that thesis. Dish that thesis.
This is less a horror of a hotel and more a horror of roommates in a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So this comes from my first ever con, MFF.
What year?
I want to say 2021.
Okay.
For the audio listener, Ark just made this incredibly like type of face. You can picture it when you hear the sound.
He needed to pull that one from the archives.
The archives?
Yep, you got it.
But then also the sound was
Yeah, so
which killed me.
it was my first ever con. I didn't know anyone when I was going there, right? So I found some people to room with on the telegrams.
Yeah.
As one does.
A dangerous game,
A incredibly dangerous game.
The most dangerous game.
perhaps.
And
Except for Squid Games.
I also had never really gone to a convention ever before.
Yes.
I had just turned 18, so I was like, I'm an adult. I'm going to go to a convention. Yip, yip, hooray.
Yeah.
And so I go there, meet up with them. They're okay. They're people. I'm like, okay, you're people, whatever. As the con goes on, it gets a little bit weirder and weirder. Sort of the first day,
Very Stephen King.
one of the roommates. So first off, there's one bed, 4 people in the room. I brought my own air mattress so that I could sleep on the ground because I understood that was what was going to happen.
Yep.
And it was going to be a lot cheaper that way. And so the first time I walk back into the room after like opening ceremonies, walk in, boom, they're having sex.
Of course.
Of
The
course.
other 3?
And this was, one of the roommates and some rando,
Oh, yeah.
of
Yeah.
course.
From Grindr, of course.
And of course, we had established no sex in the room because we didn't know each other.
Right, like-
and that was the established communication. And every single time I entered that room, different person, same bed.
I love that.
And so just sort of uncomfortable. That person never left the bed the entire con, as far as I'm aware. And after like the first day there, I was like, I don't feel quite safe here. And then I was like, okay, whatever. Yeah, it's fine. And then I'm like trying to eat food in the hotel, and then someone comes in and they start just like going at it while I'm eating food without like asking me, or like they don't check. They're just like, oh yeah, it's sex time. And I'm like, okay, this is great. Yeah, thank you.
Guess
and
I'll
then
leave.
and then I did leave
Yeah.
because my appetite was ruined. And I come
Your
back.
appetite for sex, or?
Yeah. Yeah. And then I come back and there are used condoms on my
So that's fucking rotted.
Oh, it was awful.
Yeah.
It was disgusting. And like I said, nothing against the hotel. I will never be in that hotel again.
Yeah. No, I get it.
In the middle of the night, I was like, you know what? I'm out.
Yeah.
And so I happened to meet some people there that were much more chill and much cooler people than the people I had roomed with, and was like, hey, it's the middle of the night and it's snowing out. Can I crash real quick?
Yep.
Because it is cold out.
Yeah.
And so I pack up what I can and waddle myself over there with like 3 bags and a giant stuffed shark.
Yep. Crazy.
So show up at the door and
Still
they're
in your
like,
PJs.
come here. Then they just like helped me and took care of me after that. And then the rest of the con was pretty good, but the first like day and a
that's
half
brutal.
it was brutal. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I'm normally very like, hey, you're on vacation, like you can do whatever you want. But the minute you're putting used condoms on my pillow, like,
And like
there's just a
It
respect
feels
thing.
purposeful.
Yeah, yeah. There's very much like a respect thing,
yeah, and also like have some decency to at least like ask, be like, hey, we're about to have sex. Is
Can I
that
use
cool
your bed
with
as a
you?
trash for my condom? Ridiculous.
Nothing against the hotel. Not really a hotel horror story.
but a
Horror story from
in a
the
hotel.
It's a horror story in a hotel.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
And like you said, there was communication beforehand, right? So all
Yeah.
of you had said like, yeah, we're not gonna.
We all
fucking room.
communicated that the room was like just for sleeping in. Like that was the full communication.
hanging out, whatever. But
Yeah, like you can invite people over, but like don't do anything in it. Like again,
so at that point,
I was like,
it's-
hey, I just turned 18. Like very new to this type of thing.
yeah,
Please don't.
boundaries.
Yeah,
You know.
and then proceeded to not have boundaries.
Yeah, that sucks. There are unfortunately shitty people everywhere.
I'm sure you have your laundry list.
I got a
of
couple.
horror stories as well.
Yeah,
I mean, worst of the worst, gonna be on night audit, working those shifts by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the scariest one that ever happened to me. I was working at a Quality Inn. I was younger. I was maybe 17, like just, it's one of my first jobs where I'm
Yeah.
like a seasoned. I'm an adult at this point enough to where I'm responsible for things to do on my own. And on this particular night, night out at the Quality Inn, it's a slow hotel. It's kind of dumpy. It's not a great place to stay. Rooms are really bad.
usually
there.
2-star situation.
Yeah, yep. And it happens to be raining a lot. Like if you were to hold your hand maybe 5 inches in front of your face, you wouldn't be able to see it. Like it was downpour. And kind of the policy there at the hotel was should one of the homeless people walk in, because there's a community for it there. Should one of the folks walk in, you ask them to leave right away. And sometimes I'm too nice when it comes to situations like that, because
Yep.
you want to be able to take care of people. And in this given situation where it's absolutely nasty outside, if you want to stand in the lobby and get warm and dry off, maybe that's not terrible at 4:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
So it's not harming anyone, and I'll eventually ask you to leave. So
Right.
this homeless individual happened to wander in and was kind of making himself comfortable. I'm like, hey, in a few hours you'll need to take off, whatever. And so it comes to a point where, time passes. I ask him to leave, and he goes, and I assume he leaves. Like he takes off. And then one of the housekeepers, because she was staying at the hotel, because doing one of those god-awful turnarounds, she comes up and goes, Jelly, there's someone passed out in a chair way back there in the lobby. It's kind of separated lobby situation over by the pool. And I was like, is this person wearing like a white and orange stripy polo? And she goes, yes. I'm like, oh, great. It's this guy.
He came back. Yeah.
Yeah, he came back. He was sleeping in the... So I go back there and I kind of like nudge him. Like I try and wake him up, but I don't know what his... Like, I don't ever want to be in a position where I don't know someone and I need to like put my hands on them, wake them up. Like, I don't want to shake him. That's scary. So like I eventually get loud enough to where I'm waking him up. We start walking up to the front. I'm like, hey, you were here too long. You need to get going. It's like 5:00 in the morning. You were here for hours.
Right.
I didn't want to work on the hotel. I think I was playing The Sims.
You probably were.
On my laptop. But we did have like a couch right up there up front, and he sits down in there. I'm like, hey, dude, I've given you a few warnings now. You need to take off, or I will need to call the police.
Right.
Because I've asked you to leave several
It's
times.
trespassing at that point.
Yeah,
so.
and he gets up, and at this point, I'm behind the front desk. He gets up. I think it's to leave, but he goes around the side door, which I forgot to lock. He goes behind the front desk and assaults me.
Oh.
I get punched in the face several times. I get I run out the door, and then I call the police. He doesn't chase me. He kind of just stays around in the hotel. But it was
Wow.
a very scary situation.
Wow.
And then the police come and they take him away.
Well, and you had proof, obviously, of
Yeah.
so-
I mean, all of that's on camera.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
And then the next day, the engineer there, Abdul, he's a wonderful, wonderful man. He comes to me with a pool cue. And he goes, Jelly.
Time for you to hang on.
Do
to
not
this.
let anyone do that to you ever again. And he gives me the pool cue. And then we kept it there at the reception desk. So if anyone wanted to attack me again, I got to beat them up with a pool cue.
From far
which
away,
never
by the way.
happened. I mean, I've had like my keyboard smashed. I've been threatened and like other scary things. But that was the only time I've ever had hands laid on me by like a strange, scary person.
Yeah. Jesus.
It was terrifying.
That sounds actually terrifying.
Yeah, that's a real horror story. Actually.
It was
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah.
I think people have made like horror games about that exactly happening.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, it was fine until he went behind the front desk, and then it was not fine anymore.
right.
No.
People are crazy.
People are crazy.
Yeah.
And now you know why they have a policy.
And now I don't work at hotels anymore.
Well, that for damn sure. But also, like, yeah, unfortunately, it's like, you know, the wrong people will always take advantage of the right people. Mm-hmm. Like, so even if you think like, oh, well, you know, statistically, there's got to be somebody who needs a couple hours. Like, I don't mind. It's night audit. Who cares? And then it ends up being the person that's willing to punch you, you know,
Right.
like it's just so
And
stupid.
it was a hard lesson.
Yeah. Well, it's a complete blow to just, you know, general
decency.
Yeah.
generosity is not quite the right, like charity, I guess. Like
Yeah.
it's a huge blow to like wanting to help people out, you know.
Because, I mean, that's kind of what we did there at the hotel. We had rooms set aside in the back. We partnered with different home assistance programs like Haven House. And we did have homeless folks that were staying there, but through the right channels.
Yeah, it was all arranged at
Yeah.
that point. So,
But yeah.
yeah.
What about you?
My horror stories, got a few. I don't even know where to start. So I guess I'll start with a quick one. So I worked at a Red Roof Inn. That was where I was night audit for a year.
Yep.
And there was a night. I have a lot of stories about this hotel, just to give you an idea. But the one that I'm thinking of now. So there was a night I had just like clocked in at like maybe an hour later. So where I was, we got a lot of trucking business because we were right by highways and things. So one of the popular trucking companies, usually they had people staying all the time. One of the guys calls me, or no. Actually, I'm sorry. This was a separate guy. So he was out of like, I don't know. I think his company was out of Arizona or something, but they go everywhere. So, and it was some small trucking company. Anyway, he calls and he was like, yeah, so do you guys have a room? I'm like, yep. Okay. Let me call around and call you back. Whatever. Calls me, sets up the reservation. And then he gets there, checks in. Very, very easy, simple. About an hour after that, so now we're getting into like the 1 a.m. territory. Mm-hmm. He's like, hey, question. And I was like, yeah. He was like, do you guys have like 24/7 massage therapists around here? Now you have to understand. I don't know people like that.
Yeah.
I don't know truckers like that. I don't know the human psyche like that. So I'm thinking like, okay, this dude is fucking weird. I know that he's weird, but I don't really know what he's asking for. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, we don't have anything like that around here. I'm like, I don't see that. Okay. So then another hour and a half later, and I'm making up numbers here, but basically it was about my time to start actually running the night audit. So 2 to 3 in the morning for the uninitiated. And the guy calls me again and he's like, hey, so my heater isn't working. And I was like, so I'm rolling my eyes because I'm like, of course I'm the only one on the property.
Yeah.
And this guy's already being weird, but he's going to complain and he's going to get all his money back if I don't go fucking look at his heater. So I'm like, okay, fine. So I go up there, enter the room, close the door, and I look at the heater and it's unplugged. So that should have been my clue, right?
Yeah.
That should have been my clue. But I work in hospitality, and you do everything you're supposed to in hospitality, which is simultaneously a great initiation into customer service and the worst possible one, because you are taught to bend over backwards for people, which is almost precisely what I did. So I stooped down to plug in this heater. The man grabs my ass from behind. And I was like,
No.
Nope. And I have to paint you a picture. Like, so I'm at this point 20 to 21, somewhere in there. And I've got long hair. I know how to work customer service at this point. I've done hotels for long enough. So like the personality is there, right? To do this, to do the sales and to make people comfortable. And clearly he saw something he liked. You know what I'm saying? He's a trucker. He probably doesn't get a ton, you know? So I'm like, okay, so I knew why this happened. So I stood up, turned around, and I'm like, okay, it's fixed now. Is there anything else you need? Oh, I'm really sorry. Is there anything else you need? I mean, all right. If you need anything else, call me. Otherwise, have a great night. And then I walked out. But in that moment, I got lucky for two reasons. One, he got scared. And two, I was able to like assert myself and fake the confidence I clearly was not feeling in the moment to take control of that situation. So it was kind of like a defensive thing, I guess. Got back to my hotel, got back to the front desk. And after that, I was like, okay, well, you know, now the shift was very uneventful after that. But I called my boss when I clocked out. I called him in the morning. And no. I wrote him a note. So I was in the habit of writing notes overnight because I was tracking everything. I kept like a little.
You gotta leave shift logs and everything for everyone.
It was more of a journal. So like I timestamped everything and I wrote down like this guy was weird, just so people knew what happened overnight. And then my boss called me and he was like, "So talk to me." And I told him, and he was like, "Okay, I totally appreciate where you're coming from with customer service. You don't have to go into somebody's room by yourself when it's overnight." I was like, okay. Good to know, because I just told him, I was like, I didn't want him to complain and like you were going to give him a refund or something. He was like, no. We can read the room, right? So we knew what he was doing. We knew what he was up to, and that's okay. He also knew that I was young, like the sense for these things. It takes time to build that, you know. But that was a very
That's terrible.
You know, for me, it was just another event in a series of events that had happened that made me realize like how people target femme presenting people in the world. Like, and at the time I didn't feel like I was femme presenting, you know. But long hair, and I of course, you know, I don't pass for straight, so it's just like that's kind of what happened, you know. Like very, very sad situation.
It's no good.
That's awful.
And actually awful, and probably should have called the police there.
So I didn't, because it could have been so much worse. And I could see that he regretted his decision. Yeah. Because I was not the employee that night who was going to give him what he wanted, right? I was not going to be that person. And he, you know, yes, he shouldn't have touched me, but he didn't seriously hurt me. Yeah. You know? So I left it at that. I was like, okay, let's just have a peaceful night. Now I've had worse. I had to evict minors out of a hotel room because their 18-year-old friend did the reservation, and then the minors stayed in there and were smoking weed. Yeah. I had two groups of people. One of them shot one bullet in the parking lot, and that was as far as that situation got. Drunk guy walked down the street from a bar, past my front door, pissed all over the wall, and then asked me for a room. I could see it all on camera. Yeah. Crazy shit.
We love that stuff. Yeah. It's great. Well, in a little bit more of a lighthearted mood, to get this sort of wrapped up, do you guys have any sort of horror stories that are sort of silly horror stories? And with that, I can start us off.
Go ahead.
So
I have one.
This was at FWA, I believe 2025. Just last year. And if you've ever been to a large convention, you know that the elevator's not great, especially when there's an event going on. Yep. So there's an event going on, and the elevator line was about as long as you could imagine it. And so I was like, you know what? I ordered pizza. I'll just go grab it. and then go, I'll be right back up. Like, it won't take that long. I get down there, see the line. I'm like, oh,
Elevator con is real.
This pizza's not staying.
this pizza, I want a warm pizza. What do I have to do this? And I see some people go in, the stairwell, and I'm like,
Sure.
okay, I can go up the stairs.
What floor were you on?
I happen to be on floor 26.
What the fuck?
From ground.
From ground,
To be
yes.
fair. Damn.
No, thank you.
We were
I'm not
on,
there.
I think, the third from the top. I
Mm-hmm.
think it was a total of like 29 floors, something similar to that.
No.
Not remembering the exact floor limit. But I was like, it's only 20 floors. It's not that much.
I mean,
And so my
Crazy
initial
thinking.
plan,
Don't skip leg day.
Right.
my initial plan, you go in the elevator, go to floor 5, where I can get in the elevators a little bit easier, and go up to
Sure.
get to 26. I go up 5 floors. I still see a ton of people in the line. I'm like, you know what? 5 floors wasn't really that bad.
what's 20 more?
What's 20 more?
A nightmare. is
And
what that is.
so, with my 2 pizzas in hand, I start a climbing.
Oh my god,
And
you were at climbing?
He was good at
I
climbing.
was climbing. I was, in fact, not good at climbing.
Oh,
You learned quickly that day.
I learned that day I was not the main character. And so I started making my trek up this very, very secluded stairwell. And I got up to about floor 13. I'm like,
Wheezing.
very heavily wheezing.
Yes.
And I was like, I can't stop now. I have to go all the way now. And so I just continued to make my way until I get up to the top. Pizza's still warm, thankfully, because
Yeah.
it only took about 10 minutes to go up 25 floors.
brutal.
And then I get in there, and everyone's like, "Why are you huffing and puffing? How hard could it be to get some pizzas?" And I'm
There's
like,
some bitches for that.
Right. No one got you in the elevator.
and then I was
anything.
like, "You don't know the horrors I experienced." And they're like, "Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Why did you do that to yourself?" And then that was about it.
That's when you murdered them in their sleep.
Yeah.
Like,
and you got to eat all the pizza, and they got
And
none.
yeah, I
'cause
ate
they were
all of the
dead.
pizza.
because they were dead.
Yeah,
damn.
and I was the horror because I killed them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Brutal.
Brutal.
Impressive.
Impressive. okay. I definitely got up to some shenanigans sometimes as a hotel employee. Just saying. So, in one of the hotels I worked at, because I don't know who's listening, I had a coworker. She and I got along really well. She was awesome. And her boyfriend worked a later shift, evening shift job, but he would come by the hotel sometimes just to say hi, and because he kind of knew everybody that worked there, and he was local, so he would just kind of like come say hi sometimes. Well, anyway, one day I was the only one on the property for the evening shift, so this was after managers and everybody had left, and he came by and like heavy flirting, and I'm like, all right, well, he's big and tall and beefy, and I'm, in my like early 20s at this point, who cares, whatever, so he gives me his number, and I'm like, and so we trade numbers, and then we're texting, and one of the nights he was like, well, if you work the night shift, you should let me know. And I was like, okay. Now, to give you context, the hotel was undergoing renovations at the time, so half of the first floor
Yeah.
was not in inventory because it was torn up.
Yeah.
So I tell him, all right, come by this night when I'm working. So it's like 2 or 3 in the morning. He comes by. I put the sign on my desk. I'll be right back, whatever. And I leave my phone off the receiver so nobody can call. Because I'm like, I'm not getting interrupted. So I then take him into the construction area of the hotel. And I, how much detail do I want to get into? I blew him. I'll just say it. It's fine. But he was like humongous, and I was like, "This is great. This is fun," And then I was like, "Okay, your turn." And then he went for like a minute, and he was like, "I can't. I already got off." So he wouldn't like reciprocate, And I was like, "All right, well, we're obviously just never gonna talk again. I mean, that's
Right.
fine,
This is the end.
But it was the fact that I hooked up with my coworker's boyfriend.
Straight boyfriend.
Well, probably bi. To be
It's
fair.
Okay, bye for
Yeah.
it.
But yeah, definitely straight passing. though.
Presenting straight.
Presenting as straight, yeah. And then like he texted me a lot after that, just over many days, and he was like, "Oh my god, we got to do it again. That was so great." And then the final thing that he said before I was like, I'm not responding to you anymore, he was like, you should come over and we can like fool around on my couch and I'll give you Coke and we can just like, and I was like, what the fuck, guy? Like,
What
no.
fever dream did you live in?
Yeah,
your
I'm
20s?
obviously a Pepsi girly. Like,
As far as some lighthearted stuff goes, when I was working at that doo-doo hotel that I was talking about earlier, ceiling tiles falling in, whatever. Place was nasty. It flooded. There was one person there. I mean, there were a few nice people, but this person I remember, he was a violinist. He was in as a instructor for a college campus that was close by. Is one of the music professors brought him on to help with like some stuff they were learning, and he was from Russia.
cool.
His name was Oleg. He has a Wikipedia page, so that means he's important.
Yeah.
And every night he would always be up really late because he liked to drink alcohol. But
Stoli, of course.
but I got to play chess with him every night because I did work every single day as night auditor over the course of a year. But I got to play chess with him every day for a week, and I lost to him every single time.
yeah.
Except for once when he got really drunk and fell asleep halfway through, and I convinced him that he was playing the other color.
What the hell?
So I
He probably let you have that.
maybe
Like,
maybe he did.
He knew the entire time.
So
I'll tell you, the Russians play some chess though.
he was so good at chess.
Yeah,
and like
they-
I grew up playing chess and like the Boy Scouts and stuff. I play chess all the time.
I'm so good.
He destroyed me at chess every single time, except for when I convinced him that he was playing the other color, and then I beat him the once. I didn't. No, I spun the board.
Oh, there you go.
That's what I would have done too.
And yeah,
Rotate the
shout
whole
out
table.
to Oleg, violinist from Russia. You're really cool. I think about you sometimes.
Chess champion. Chess
And the
grandmaster.
one time he found stray kittens and brought them into the hotel and then left, and I needed to feed them. Figure out what to do with these cats.
Damn. Adopted by Russian chess, violin, alcohol daddy.
Yes.
That's pretty great.
Yeah. He was cool. One of the real ones.
Pour one out for the real ones, you know?
The only one.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, thank you, Ark. Thank you, Jelly. Of
Yes.
course.
There are so many stories we have not told from
yeah.
our hotel days. So I know I pretty much say this every episode, but there might have to be a sequel for this one too.
Fine with that.
There's so much to talk about. But that's it from us about hotels. What was your favorite horror story, or do you have any horror stories of your own? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell. We'll let you know when another episode is coming out. But that's it, guys. Thanks for tuning into PawsCast. We will see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye. Remember to turn in your keys.
Yeah. Don't steal those shits. Damn.
And if
They're
you
not
do
for
steal,
you.
don't
We
let them
watch
know.
them.
Yeah. Sometimes.
We should wash. They get gross, man. Sticky.
I hope not.
That's why we watch them.
And do not ask for a full body
All
massage.
right. Bye.
Yeah. No more full body massage, guys. Thanks.